Welcome back everybody, I'm Phoenix and this is my more in-depth breakdown of the 23-minute video of raw gameplay we got from Madfinger and Greyzone Warfare. First off, we need to set the stage and remember that this game is still active in early development and a lot can and probably will change, which is also one of the reasons they want to have an early access, to get player feedback. And secondly, I'm probably biased because I love slow pacing tactical shooters like this, where missions take time, you have to think about your movements and communicate with your team, and if you don't, well, you get punished. And thirdly, we don't know what hardware the devs are playing on during their gameplay, but they have stated earlier that they aim to optimize the game as much as they can, and they even do tests on older Nvidia GPUs like the 10 series. Now, let's talk briefly about the mission. Their mission they are playing through in the video is the Rat's Nest mission, which we got some intel about earlier. So their mission is to gather some intel, don't engage in direct confrontation unless absolutely necessary, and their primary objective are reconnaissance and gathering intelligence. So I have 5 points I want to talk about in this video. That's environment, animations and movement, gunplay and sounds, UI and HUD, and the AI and the world. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. The environment looks stunning. It's lush and dense, and you can really see Unreal Engine 5 working together with their in-house tool Scala. The environment artists have done a great job. It's no wonder they say that the environment is its own character in the game. The view distance is great. The lighting and the skybox looks beautiful. The shadows looks crisp and the details in the models look stunning. The environment interacting with players and props looks really good. And I can't wait to see how an environment changes when they add the day-night cycle. So where are they getting their performance from? They have to cut somewhere. And if you look closely, it looks like texture patches covered by simpler geometry, at least in the far distance, like up on the mountains and stuff like that. There are also some places in the rice fields where you can see a more level foliage patches, but that doesn't mean that it looks bad. And when you're in the game, adrenaline pumping, you probably won't notice that. I'm guessing they are utilizing Unreal Engine 5's nanite technology, which offers a more dynamic level of detail than the classic LOD system. And it looks like there is a different density of environment depending on where you are on the map. The environmental soundscape or ambience sounds really good and immersive. And I have seen a lot of complaints about this, but to be honest, I think it sounds really good. It sounds like you're in a Southeast Asian jungle, which is, tada, where the game takes place. And if you take the time and look up jungle sounds, rainforest sounds, or Southeast Asian jungle sounds on YouTube, you'll get the real deal and it sounds almost the exact same. But that said, this is still a game and we haven't seen any of the settings for audio yet, so there might be an option to tone it down for those of you who haven't been outside. Personally, I'm more interested in the spatial sound and if they are going to work on that, because right now there's not really a difference being inside a building and outside of a building. The jungle sounds almost the same. That said, I also think footsteps might need some more work, as it sounds inconsistent depending on what terrain you're stepping on. Like sometimes it sounds like gravel when you're on grass, and going through that small river sounds just like a puddle. But the fact that you can hear yourself and your teammates brush against the leaves and the foliage around you is great, and it makes you want to be careful trying to hide from enemies as they probably both can hear and see you sneaking around. sound indication of when you are hurt, when your teammates are hurt, your heartbeat pumping and your breathing harder sounds really good. And it's a great indicator of what's going on. All the interior environment we have seen looks really good too. It looks like they put a lot of work into making all the rooms and the village environments look alive. I don't know how to explain it. Regarding animations and movements, I think what we have seen so far looks really good. There's free look, there's shoulder swapping, but the upper body animation looks a bit stiff, but that might be the stance that they're in. And we don't really know how many different stances there are. Is there ready, high, low, and stuff like that? Is there prone? We've seen crouch. And the blurry screen depth of field change while being suppressed looks really good. All the healing animations we saw looked really good. The same with the drinking animation. Applying bandages only shows the bandage during the animation and will disappear when you're healed. So overall, the animations and the movements, they look fluid and pretty good to me. The gunplay looks solid, and all the gun animations we have seen so far look pretty great. The recoil doesn't look too crazy, and I guess this also depends on the setup attachments you have for your gun. You can check your ammo count and even your chamber. There are several different types of ammo that probably plays a huge role with the overall ballistics, as they have stated previously in their devlog. There are also different fire modes for the different guns, but that's to be expected. The gun sounds are not bad, but they kinda lack the extra oomph or depth. They sound a bit flat and generic at this point, but the game is still under active development, so there will probably be some work done on that to make the gun sounds feel more fuller, if that's a word. The HUD is minimal, and I really like that. The compass is essential for callouts, and it's good that we got it on screen the whole time. Some games don't have this, and it can make doing critical callouts a pain. Top left, we have our stamina, health, and stance indicator. And the stance indicator also shows which part of your body you're hurt or have taken damage. And next to that, we get some damage indicator icons that shows you where you're hurt. And for my old eyes, those icons could be a bit larger. Because glancing over to that side, with the icons being that small, it's gonna be a thing. There is also a visual indicator with blood on the screen indicating you took hit and you are hurt. There's a nice little quick menu that let you apply healing that you might need. Moving close to a teammate gives you the option to examine and probably apply healing. And as for the map, we get to see part of it, and it's probably the early access area we get to see. The full map is 42 square kilometers, and they have stated that they will expand the map during early access period. We see one of the base camps, of which there are 3, one for each of the factions. We also get to see the landing zones, and you probably have to explore and find them, the landing zones, as they have stated earlier that they will reward exploration. And during that gameplay reveal, you can also see the player getting experience points for finding the landing zone that they extract from. The menus and UI look simple and on point, easy to understand and not too gimmicky. I personally like them as they are, but don't be surprised if there are any changes during early access. We get an overview of map, character, task, your level, your gear, your health, your squad, messages, friends, group, and settings. We do get a closer look at the gear screen, which gives you an overview of what gear you have equipped, like helmet, vest, sidearm, primary gun, headset, and so on. And this will be very familiar for extraction shooter players, and the usage seems to be the standard setup of these kind of screens. You also get to see your backpack inventory, your vest inventory, your belt, your safe lock, which is probably like your insert slot. And it looks like you can change them out for different variations, probably with different capabilities and weight. The right half of the screen is most likely the loot screen, where you inspect other characters, storage and stuff like that. You also get a quick overview of your health status, including your blood, hydration, energy, weight, intoxication, and radiation. And this all ties to the survival aspect of the game. And I really like that you have to consider all of this too, as you gotta think about what you do and how you move, since just sprinting around will probably affect hydration and stamina, so venturing out without, for example, water can turn into an issue if you're not careful enough. We don't see the health stat menu, but that will probably give you a more detailed overview of your health and a more detailed view of where you have taken damage and what you need to do to fix it. But overall, the UI and HUD looks minimal and functional. The AI we seem to encounter in the gameplay reveal looks to be low-level bandits or rebels or whatever they called. The player is also low-level, so these are not the hardest enemies in the game. And to be honest, we haven't really seen too much of the AI. They didn't encounter too many NPCs in the gameplay that we saw, but what we have seen so far looks like a good starting point for me. And they're probably working on refining their coding. As for world interaction, we didn't really see too much of that. I do wonder how much we can interact with the world and objects around us. Can we move certain things? Can we push things down? If we throw a grenade, will there be scattered around and stuff like that? So I hope we get to see more of that. So there you have it. My quick breakdown of the 23-minute gameplay reveal we got to see. Overall, I'm really impressed with the game. I'm really interested in getting my hands on it now, even more so. The gameplay looks smooth, the FPS looks good. There was a couple of hiccups here and there. We will get some more impressions and info really soon, as a bunch of content creators have done a game session, so look out for that. I hope we do get a date on when the game goes into early access. If you like this video, please do the clickety click. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.